So there was a time when I watched Joanna and Jedrzejczyk. It was me and a friend of mine. And we were watching Joanna and Jedrzejczyk beat the hell out of Rosie Sexton. I was a fan of Joanna. My friend, he was a fan of anything up and coming. Any up and coming fighter. He loved any up and coming fighter. He was like, don't worry, this person, this, that. And I was like, I don't know. He showed me this fight and I was like, holy moly. This here is technique that we haven't seen yet. There was a speed, a precision, a defense in terms of takedown defense. And I'll just say this. Joanna always had takedown defense. Always. But there was just something about Joanna. There was a fierceness about her. Something about it. I just really liked Joanna. That's my confession. I used to really like Joanna. I was a Joanna and Jedrzejczyk fan. Seriously, I was a fan. I had to see I was watching every fight. It wasn't until The Ultimate Fighter that I was turned off. Right? It wasn't until that. But before The Ultimate Fighter, I just loved Joanna. I really did. I thought everything about her was above board. But there was a couple of below the belt things that happened during The Ultimate Fighter that I just thought, Same thing that happened with Kobe, with this recent, very recent tough Ultimate Fighter that I watched with Cody Garbrandt. This is the last one that I watched. Cody Garbrandt and what's the name? I just started really not liking Cody Garbrandt. It's like, ugh. That's why I don't even like that show. It just turns you off from some of the fighters because they just act so, I guess you get to see who they really are. You know, you get to see who they really, really are. True colors. But that show turned me off from Joanna, and I started to kind of pull back from her. But I will say this. It's tough to see Joanna circling the drain like this, you know. It's tough to watch her spend those lonely hours watching the sunset. The sun is setting. The crowd is thinning. And the air is growing cold. This is a very depressing episode of What's Next. What's next for Joanna and Jedrzejczyk, guys? You know, Joanna and Jedrzejczyk, let's just do the numbers. Joanna and Jedrzejczyk is 1 win, 3 losses in her last 4 fights. In Joanna's last 4 fights, she has had 3 title fights. I don't know any fighter who has had 4 title fights in 5 fights. However, Joanna has mentioned in the press conferences, you know, pre-fight press, post-fight press, all of those press conferences, that she is not going to go back to 115 unless she has a title fight. But she does want to go back down there and get her belt. Joanna and Jedrzejczyk right now is mixed between flyweight and strawweight. I'll give you guys a spoiler right now. My what's next, it's not about a fighter. I won't be mentioning one fighter's name. But we will look at the rankings. Let me see if I can pull them up on this really shitty UFC website. Let me see. UFC. Actually, Jesus Christ, this website is horrible. It's too modern. I appreciate it, but it's too damn modern. Anyways, I'm on the website right now. The thing about Joanna is Joanna can beat all the strawweights in the top 10 except for Tatiana Suarez and Rose. She can beat all of those strawweights. Every last one. Nina Ansaroff is going to be in the top 10, guys. She will be in there. I guess they haven't updated this since Saturday night, but UFC is so, gosh, they should update this stuff. Dang. But Nina Ansaroff is going to be up there. Either way, JJ can beat a lot of these fighters. All of them. Except for Rose and Tatiana Suarez. She would get bludgeoned by Tatiana Suarez. So I understand why she says she doesn't want to go back down there unless she's able to fight for the belt. But who wants to keep seeing that? You know, I don't think anybody really wants to see that right now. Or she can hang out in flyweight. She can fight flyweight and she can clip up all those girls. She can clip up, you know, Jessica I. She can beat Jessica I, beat her ass up like she did Penne. She can go in there and struggle with, you know, the sad thing is I think she would struggle with Roxanne Modafferi a little bit. There's just a toughness about Roxanne. And then I mean, there's a toughness about her. Roxanne would lose the fight. Don't get me wrong. People like to hear what they want to hear. Don't get me wrong. Roxanne would lose the fight. It's just she's real tough to fend. She's real tough, you know. Roxanne can take a beating, man. Caitlin Chukagian, she can go out there and point her. Might get beat. You know, there's some flyweights that are coming up from top 15, from 10 to 15. You know, I think they're worth it a little bit. There's a couple of those out there, but it's like she can hang out there. But it's like when you get to the championship belt, you can't beat Valentina. You cannot beat Rose. You can't beat Valentina or Rose. And, you know, coach has been pointing this out for a minute. JJ can't see the left hand. She can't see that straight left from the southpaw. You know, if a fighter switches stances into southpaw, like how Rose does, or like how Valentina, I think Valentina is just a southpaw, but, you know, Rose will switch in and out, mainly a southpaw, but she'll switch in and out. JJ cannot see that hand. She can't see a straight left coming straight down the pike. And it's strange because of the way she fights. I feel like she would know how to parry it, but she cannot see that hand. It just tags her every time. Coach was the first one to point that out. So, this is what I'll say. If you cannot beat the champ at strawweight and you cannot beat the champ at flyweight, then you need to look at your game. You got beat by the southpaw and you have no ground game. No ground game, and you're continuously getting beat by the southpaw. What's next for Joanna Jedrzejczyk? Switch camps. Leave ATT. You don't have to leave it for good, but leave that damn camp. It has not done you any good except for help you to lose the belt. You went to ATT. You joined ATT. When you joined ATT, you had the belt. You brought the belt to them. The only thing that they have managed to do is help you lose it. Leave that camp. And I know how it is. You lose a fight, everybody's telling you to leave your camp. They didn't help you get there. We've seen it now. We've watched you. You're 1-3 in your last 4. Either you can watch the sunset on your career or you can let the sun set on ATT. Move on to a better camp. You need to move on to Mark Henry, or you need to move on to, you know, I would say AKA if they had women fighters over there, AKA would be a great camp, but they don't. So it is what it is. You need to move over to somewhere Team Alpha Male even. You need to learn a ground game. Team Alpha Male will have you rolling the whole time. That's it. They will have you wrestling and rolling. Period. So I would say either Team Alpha Male, Mark Henry, Syndicate. I can't see her going over to Syndicate because I think it's just too many. They've got a lot of female fighters over there. You know, they're really big on women's MMA over there, but JJ has just been so nasty coming up the rankings that I think it would be hard for her to assimilate, if that makes sense. So, but Syndicate would be perfect for her. You know, over there with John Wood, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Anyways, you know, JJ has not gained anything from American Top Team. Nothing at all. It wasn't until this fight against Valentina that I felt like they were trying to develop her game. They were just allowing Joanna to be Joanna and charging her for it. Do you get what I'm saying? They were just sitting around letting Joanna be Joanna, and they were charging her for it. Joanna Jedrzejczyk is no doubt an amazing fighter. She is. She lacks punching power. She lacks punching power. She lacks a good IQ. well, she has fight IQ, but I'll just say this. It's not the IQ, like the smarts and the eye, right? Because you have to see something to be able to analyze it, to see what you can do with it. She lacks the eyes to actually see what's happening in a fight. To see that she needs to slow down or plant her feet and crack a bitch over the head. She also lacks a ground game, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, she has such great takedown defense. Oh, she gets up from every takedown. That is horrible. In an MMA fight where people are calculating a score based on, it's a point system. When somebody takes you down, they have scored. The only way to get those points back, the thing is, she understands it in Muay Thai. In Muay Thai, she gets it. If somebody kicks you, you gotta kick them back in order to get that point back. When somebody takes you down, the only way to get the point is to reverse the takedown. You need to be able to fight off the ground. Don't get up. Getting up is, I hate to say it, but getting up is the dumb option. Getting up is almost like tapping. You're giving, I'll give up that point. And then you don't even try to, if you're going to give up the point, just take the person down yourself. That's why I said Joanna's going to go for the double leg. She's going to go for a power double leg. Had she gone for a power double leg, she would have been able to get some of those points back. As you notice, a lot of people are like, this was an amazing fight. It was so great. This and that and the next. It was. I agree with that. I enjoyed the fight a lot. But when it comes to being a fighter, that shit was a decision. It was a decision. She could have made it a lot closer. When you're coming to the end of the rounds, those last 2 championship rounds, that last round, you need to have made every other round as close as possible. If JJ could have hit a double leg takedown or a single leg high crotch, something, she would have been able to make the rounds closer. She would have been able to make that 10-9, that 9-10, right? Because it's a thin line. But instead, it was damn 10. What was the scorecard? 49-46. 49-46. I think all around it was 49-46. There may have been one stupid judge. There was one judge that, I don't know if they were drinking that night or what, but had some strange scores. I'll tell you that. But for the most part, let's just say 49-46. Joanna needs to understand she needs to get those points back. When somebody takes you down, stop getting up. Stop getting up. You need to reverse the takedown. Reverse it. Or if you do get back up, go for your own takedown. Joanna's, that gaping hole in Joanna's game where she doesn't have a ground, where she can't fight on the ground, that is going to cause her to lose every single fight moving forward if she ever fights anybody with any amount of fight IQ. Take her down. Land her ass on the ground for 3 seconds and you just landed a takedown. Joanna needs to change camps. Joanna needs a change of things. She needs to change up how it's happening. The way that she's approaching the fight game, the way that she's approaching her training camps, who she's training with, the skill, the style. She needs to switch all of that up. And that is the only thing that I want to see next from Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Like I said, guys, this is it's a brutally honest, slightly depressed episode of what's next. I used to be a fan. Like I said, I was turned off by tough, but what's really goddamn tough, what's really tough right now is watching her circle the drain. I don't know if you guys feel me on this one. I know it's a little bit out there. I know ATT is a great camp, but what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section for real. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm out.